Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Lose an hour, lose your sanity. Good morning. Mornings at the Cabin with Wheeler and Ollie. After a restful Monday morning off in which Winter just decided to show up, I'm back. What?
Have you said hello to the Queen yet?
No, where is she?
Look over the...
Ah! Jeez. Good Lord.
There she is.
It barely looks like her. She's dead and soulless in the face.
It's an exact replica, isn't it?
Very good. That's treason, I'm pretty sure. Mornings at the Cabin.
Wait till the sun comes up. She starts waving. She's a solar queen.
Really? Is that... Are you...
No,
Are you being serious?
It's solar powered
Are you
queen
being serious?
that waves.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, that's pretty incredible. That's a nice gift. I saw that video. What a wonderful gift that was.
Yeah.
But Winter, did just kind of arrive. We've kind of been... It's been teasing at it for a while, saying, I'm probably going to come over one of these nights. And then you went to bed and you woke up like your brother was on your couch. And you're like, are you just going to stay for a few months? Yeah. All right, great. So we're in the middle of it now. All of a sudden, it was 2 feet of snow and minus 30 yesterday.
What kind of brother do you have where it brings the temperature shift
to
minus 15?
I would most likely be going the other way. I would be the brother that would just show up on my brother's couch.
Does he live in Narnia usually? What's
Yes,
going on there?
I live in Narnia usually with all the leftover socks that get lost in your laundry.
And that little weird leprechaun thing that turns up at the start.
It's a fawn.
Yeah,
a leprechaun. It's a fawn.
Fawn. I've seen fawns. That's not my understanding of a fawn.
That's exactly what it is. It's a fawn.
All
right. Plenty to talk about. Midterm elections, big day for the U.S. Ottawa Senators caught ripping their boss and their coach. Have you ever been caught doing that?
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Ollie, Lekter, Wheeler with you on your Tuesday morning. So last night, over the weekend, it looks like it was recorded actually at the end of last month.
Okay.
In Phoenix. The Ottawa Senators, a few of the Ottawa Senators players were caught ripping the coach and the system that they're playing.
This is Canada, Ollie. We talk about hockey gossip.
Yes.
Yeah,
all right.
well-
This is hockey gossip.
So this is the assistant coach in charge of the penalty kill.
That's right.
And it was actually pretty tame stuff. I read
It was.
and I was like, they're just complaining lightly about the fact they're really bad at killing penalties.
And
Like,
I mean,
of all the things that I feel like
Of
they
course.
could have been taped saying,
Yeah.
it is small fry.
Small fry for sure, but when you're playing team sport, everybody's got to be pushing in the right direction. But yeah, you're right. It was pretty
inside
tame.
a loop. I mean, it's. I'm fairly sure it's illegal, isn't it?
For hockey, this is a scandal.
Ugh.
It's an offense.
It's an
a
offense.
punishable offense.
Punishable
One
offense.
punishable by death.
But hang on then. Hang on. Are hockey players not allowed to talk in private with each other about the team?
No, of course they absolutely are.
Well,
And
this was
that's
in private.
Of course,
Right,
and that's the
it's
point. They were speaking in private, obviously not knowing they were being recorded, and also not knowing that this douchey Uber driver would be like, "Well, this is a video that needs to be seen."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like unfortunate or anything. They're just young guys. They're just letting loose. It was probably after a game. They're in Phoenix. There's nothing to do.
No.
Have you been to Phoenix?
Well, I was saying to you off the air, it was like as if an Uber driver in Phoenix even knew that they were a professional hockey team,
He might have.
let alone the significance of what they were
Well,
doing.
no, I mean, I imagine they maybe he was like, "What do you guys do?"
Never talk to your Uber driver.
That's
First
true.
mistake.
That's right. Yeah, you want to maintain that.
Never make
5-star
direct
rating.
conversation.
The video starts with the Uber driver asking, "Which team do you play for?"
There you go.
Terrible.
There you go.
Lie. Minnesota Wild.
Play for the Wild. So I guess I wanted to bring that up because have either of you ever been caught bad mouthing your boss? And I'll open this up to the forum as well. So both of you listening, have either of you ever been caught bad mouthing your boss?
Not by the wrong people. Luckily.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Play your cards close to your chest.
Yeah. Ollie?
I'm racking my brains because it feels like exactly the kind of thing I do. I just can't think when I've done it.
You've definitely been caught bad mouthing your subordinates, but your boss.
Well, obviously. I mean, I do that on the air.
That's right.
Let me
And
think.
during your birthday celebrations.
When did I do that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you remember either.
Oh, I remember everything.
Do you?
Sadly.
Sad. We had a great time. How dare you?
It was a great night. Yeah, you left early without doing. You were going to record a podcast, and you left. You abandoned it.
I left at 12:30. I had been having pop since 5:30. It didn't look like we were going anywhere.
You never once mentioned it that evening.
You
It was
guys,
very
I
sad.
did mention it
I
like
was so looking
3
forward to it.
times. I heard you left early as well. I heard you left before the party was over.
After you, sunshine.
After me, Sunshine. Great.
I was there before you left.
I left first.
Yeah, you did.
For the
leave
record.
first. Yeah, and you had a glass of wine and you left.
Oh.
All right. Anyway, bad mouthing your boss, which I was just doing live on the air. Well, equal. I mean, bad mouthing my equal.
Do you have any bad mouthing your superiors? Stories?
So, yes, one of my first jobs. I wasn't caught. I literally said it to their face, and I told them to go procreate with themselves, because they were being really mean.
I don't know if that counts. You were being a little too direct.
I was being direct.
We're talking sneaky behind their back.
Sneaky behind their back. You know what? I've never been confronted about it, but I'm sure I've been like caught by the wrong person, because like you're talking smack or whatever, and it's part of your. I think it's part of your job, especially if you're working like low wage, non-skilled jobs, to bitch about your job. Yeah. I think it's everybody's right to bitch about their job.
Those poor Ottawa senators. I mean, they really aren't getting paid enough.
No, they really
for what they go through.
My goodness. You know, you just struggle every day. Every day it's a struggle. But yeah, I think I've like had someone like walk in the room and I was like, "Hup." And it wasn't like the boss or anything. It was just that person. I know that person would have gone around and told the boss.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that moment when you suddenly realize you have to shift gears, but you've got nothing to go to. You're like, it's so obvious. We were just talking about you. Shall we stare at you a bit longer?
That guy is a total idiot. It was the great race of the horses. What? Dogs.
Now, not to comment on your issues that you've had with past bosses.
I definitely have issues.
I would just suggest that if the Ottawa Senators have a problem with their penalty kill, it may not be the coach's fault. They may just be really bad at their jobs.
Kind of sounds like it's the system.
They might have an equal hand in it.
Yeah, they might have. That was pointed. Why was that pointed at me? Why was that pointed at me?
I'm just saying that sometimes people, when they're complaining about the boss, maybe they should look a little closer to home.
Take a look in the
general.
mirror.
Okay, first of all, I don't badmouth you except on air. Directly to your face. I have the courage and the gumption to badmouth you directly to your face.
I keep it strictly off air.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
It's a big day for our neighbors to the south.
Yeah.
U.S. midterm elections. Do you have any knowledge of what's going on whatsoever? I don't.
I know everyone's supposed to vote.
Everybody get out there and vote. Even SNL is telling people to get out there and vote. Like,
it's been pretty relentless.
It has. And I mean, and with good cause. I mean, it's seemingly, I mean, depending on which way you lean, I suppose, what you're seeing in the news is predominantly red and predominantly kind of terrible. Like the Republicans seem to be like across the board kind of shady, horrible people. And I'm not saying that the Democrats aren't shady, horrible people. They just seem to be shady and horrible in different ways. You know what I mean? Like they're shady and horrible as in like they take bribes and stuff from lobbyists.
Right.
Like
any of us.
But for a good cause. And Republicans just seem to be like, no immigrants and stuff. So
it's a pick your shade kind of thing is what you're saying.
So the Republicans control the House. They control the Senate, so with these midterm elections, that could be swayed, right?
Yeah.
The Democrats need to pick up some seats, and in the House, and then they could start kind of getting their ball rolling into 2020.
Getting their lives back together.
It's been such. But I mean, we joke, but I mean, there's been some pretty serious stuff that's been going on the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's politics.
And then you've got exactly, that's politics. But you've got like Trump and his administration basically trying to like gain as much like momentum using fear as possible.
Yeah.
The Democrats are doing the same thing.
Good old fear.
The Democrats are doing the same thing, but they're using fear in a way that's like, if you elect these people again, this stuff will continue to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas the Republicans their message seems to be like, if you elect the Democrats, then ISIS is going to be showing up at your door for trick or treat.
If you don't elect us, things will get much worse.
Exactly. It's like a threat. I've got a gun to a puppy's head, and if you don't elect us, I'm going to shoot this puppy. But the puppy is actually a migrant child moving up from South America.
But I mean, the average, like, just politically unaffiliated person. Apparently these people exist.
Yeah.
Who don't lean one way or the other and are actually swayed by this sort of thing.
Right.
I've never met one.
No.
But apparently these people exist.
It's not polite to be non-political anymore. It's not. It's like,
polite.
you know what? When it used to be
You are
polite, like,
hated.
we don't talk about money and we don't talk about politics because we're trying to be nice. It's like, no, sorry.
You're on the fence and considering both sides, are you?
yeah.
You
I'm just kind of
jerk.
weighing both options, seeing which one's gonna, deport children or, give us health care. It's a tough decision. So, I mean, obviously I'm oversimplifying, but I mean, it's not polite to not talk about politics anymore.
Oh, you were being serious.
I am about that part.
Okay.
But I mean, you don't talk about money, you don't talk about politics. But now we do talk about those things because money is complete.
Because we're obsessed.
We're obsessed with it. But it's there's an inequality there to how many people, like, 3 people own the same amount of money as like the bottom half of the country.
Right.
That type of thing. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Well, and it's things we've become infinitely more aware of in the last 10 years or so. That before that you were just kind of like, I don't know, everything's going in normally, I guess.
Yeah, it's conservatives and it's liberals. Conservatives and it's liberals. Who cares?
You mentioned you mentioned Saturday Night Live off the top. You said you didn't see this past weekend?
I haven't seen this past week. I do know that Pete Davidson is taking a lot of flack for making fun of a congressman, I think. I think he's a congressman or a would-be congressman who lost an eye in Afghanistan. He's a Navy SEAL, so obviously he's above reproach.
Right.
Whatever. He's also racist, and he's like backing everything Trump does without question. So, like, who cares?
They did this parody Democratic Party voting
I think great
commercial. You
I did see that where they were all just like, "It's going to be great. We're going to win," and they start shaking.
Kate McKinnon just screaming and windows just breaking. We have to win.
It's the end of the world.
Yeah.
The question
very real. That
kind of. Yeah, it seems
right
that way. Like, we're super confident. But I mean, so what happens today is going to be is seemingly pretty important, or it could just be we're just getting all pumped up about these things because every election cycle seems to be more and more important.
Yes.
And then the question remains how Russia will have because apparently they're spending money on influencing this election as well. What's funny about all this is that the corruption and the lies and everything from both sides, mostly the red side, how transparent all of this is. How it's so transparently corrupt and so transparently backwards and so transparently wrong.
They're not even trying to hide it anymore.
No one's trying to hide anything.
And we're all just watching.
And we're all just like, I guess this is the way it is.
Yeah.
I guess we should go out there and vote. And I mean, I guess they should.
Michael Che had a really funny analogy on Weekend Update as well, where he was talking about, he mentioned how he doesn't vote.
Yeah.
he's like, apparently I should vote in this one because this is the most important election ever.
Yeah.
Though they said that with the last election.
Yeah, and the one before that.
It's kind of like when you don't pay your mortgage and, you get a letter from your bank saying final notice. It's never the final notice.
Second final notice. Third final notice. So I guess we'll find out by the end of today if America is going to civil war or just going to sweep back into the liberal blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine.
You're listening to the best of Mornings at the Cabin. Yeah, it's a short show.
Bohemian Rhapsody opened this past weekend. You haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet, but it did take tops at the box office this weekend. $50 million, which is one of the biggest openings for a biopic ever, for a music biopic anyway, ever.
Right.
Reviews are middling. Like, I mean, they're saying that the movie is not that great. It's fairly cookie cutter kind of biopic. Glosses over a lot of stuff. There's some inaccuracies, of course, but I mean, it's a biopic. It's meant to be kind of almost a fantasy movie, right? I mean, it's meant to be about the rags to riches or whatever, overcoming adversity and whatnot. But overall, across the board praise for Rami Malek and his performance as Freddie Mercury.
Right.
I almost, every time I say Freddie Mercury, I almost always say Freddie Mercury.
I almost thought you were going to say that. Actually.
That's how long I've lived in Yellowknife.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. But so across the board, huge praise for him.
Yeah.
And from the previews, you can tell that he really, really got into it. And he's a phenomenal actor anyway. Yeah. But this is kind of a cool offshoot of what's going on with that movie and how popular it is. The top 6 singles on the rock chart in the UK are all Queen songs.
And not from the soundtrack of this movie. Like
No, from the actual
Yeah.
albums. Yeah, so Bohemian Rhapsody, number 1, Don't Stop Me Now, number 2, Another One Bites the Dust, number 3, We Will Rock You, I Want to Break Free, and We Are the Champions.
And no one even had to die for that to happen.
Yeah.
Well,
he
like,
died a while
like right now.
ago. Like a while ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, they're arguably their best songs, except for Radio Gaga, which is an incredible tune.
Right. I mean, they've got a ton of good tunes.
Well, I mean, they've got 3 or 4.
They've got a couple.
So the movie, kind of like fair to middling reviews across the board, but like the end sequence, the Live Aid sequence, getting universal praise.
Right.
And I saw a side by side of it, and it's incredibly accurate. So I mean, to have something like that so well documented, to be able to learn off of that's a great opportunity. That's a big privilege to have as an actor, as a performer, to be able to, if you're trying to mimic something, to have something that was so well covered.
Yeah.
Seen by 1.9 billion people.
Do you think they had any hesitation? Do you think they were like, should we just like use the actual footage from Live Aid?
Well, I mean, they did use the actual vocals.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So Rami Malek, at no point did Rami Malek try to sing like Queen or try to sing like Freddie.
In any part of the movie?
Oh, not at all.
Wow.
They used Freddie's vocals from other concerts, from the albums. So when they used it from concerts, it's really cool because like he changed it up with every concert basically.
Right.
Different intonation, different inflections, things like this. So they used those to mimic some of these concerts. So it's not just all him singing off the album, which always looks kind of weird.
I mean, it's tough with someone like Freddie Mercury, who, you know, in rock music history,
why even try?
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody had a range even close to his. He basically had an operatic octave range.
One of the reasons for that, he was born with 4 extra incisors in his mouth, apparently.
Oh, wow.
There you go. So he had more room in his mouth,
more space.
Yeah, for singing.
It is cool though when you see biopics and the lead actually does do the main vocals.
Well,
like the Doors movie with Johnny Kilmer,
Johnny Cash,
Joaquin Phoenix and Walk the Line, and there is some, and I mean obviously those like Johnny Cash and Jim Morrison, fine vocalists.
Yeah.
Not nearly in the echelon of Freddie Mercury.
Well, even with Ray, like Jamie Foxx didn't do Ray's voice. Like they used the recordings of Ray.
Yeah.
Because he was still alive when they were making the movie. So they used recordings of him.
Yeah. So not exactly a linear comparison there.
But I mean, like,
something always kind of cool when, you know that the main person actually is doing the vocals.
Yeah, and Johnny Cash had like not the best vocalist, but had a voice that could be imitated. Yeah. So Joaquin Phoenix did a pretty good job. So the other complaint about this movie, and you and I were talking about this off air, is that they kind of gloss over some things, especially about his sexuality. Like they touch on it, but they kind of wash over it. I was mentioning to you that there is a biopic documentary, like a docudrama. It's kind of like it's a documentary / with some reenactments.
Right.
It was a BBC doc that came out a couple years ago, and it was like all about Freddie. And the guy who plays him in these reenactments is phenomenal. Looks exactly like him, sounds exactly like him, but they delve way deep into what they called like the other side of Freddie. Right. So his friends and band members are all like, yes, there was this side, but there's also that other side that he kept very secret, very private, because he was a very private person.
Right.
So one of the complaints about this movie is that they've kind of glossed that over. I don't really think, it's not that it's not fair criticism.
Right.
It's just that like this is a movie about the band and their music and the magic of what Freddie Mercury was, and to delve into the stuff that kind of that the other side that he liked to keep private. I can see why they didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I can see why they wanted to make this movie the way they did it.
Yeah.
It's a little unfortunate that it's unfortunate that they do gloss it over because it's such a huge part of his life.
Yeah.
But I can see why the band would just kind of be like, no, let's just make this about the music and him as a performer, because that's the magic. The magic isn't him. Isn't the other side of him where he was boozing and he was sleeping around a lot. It was the music and him as a performer.
I guess there's when it's a big movie that you know is going to appeal to a wide audience.
Exactly.
You kind of have a tough decision to make where it's like, are we gonna go to these potentially gritty or like really personal areas, or are we gonna keep it pretty glossy on the surface, and just like you say, make it more of a kind of a fantasy picture.
Yeah, and I mean it's about whether or not you want to like really understand the person,
right?
And maybe they just wanted to make a good rock movie. And I mean there is an argument against that. Obviously, there's an argument for going into like the deeply personal stuff so you can understand who Freddie was more. But I can see their point as to why they wanted to.
It's kind of like how we were talking about The Greatest Showman, the P.T. Barnum.
Oh yeah,
movie.
You want to talk about a movie that glosses over what a horrible person somebody is? Although that's not what Bohemian Rhapsody would have done. But like P.T. Barnum was a horrible person who took advantage of people and basically used them up until they were done.
Yeah.
And
they made a Disney musical out of it.
Yeah, a wonderful musical. And like,
well,
well, it was fine.
Okay. I'm sure this Queen movie is much better. Musically.
So I am looking forward to seeing it. I understand that there is that not going to be happening in it.
Yeah.
And I kind of get it, but yeah.
It's unfortunate. I mean, obviously a very complicated character. You got a tough decision to make whether or not you want to just keep it fun for everyone, or do we want to like really dig deep here? And I mean, there's a good chance that maybe now out of that there comes a biopic on Freddie Mercury specifically.
Question is, do we need that?
Why not?
What? But why though?
Why not?
Like, do we need the dark and grimy story? No, I mean I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen. It's just like, do we need that?
Do we need?
Or can't we just have?
Did we need this Queen movie, Jesse?
Just a second. But or can we just have that movie that's a fantasy that just kind of focuses on him as a performer and the band itself, rather than going into every little detail about his personal life?
I think we can have it all.
We can. I think there's an important story to be told there. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe this isn't the movie for that story.
I guess what it really comes down to is the Mercury family. Whatever, I don't know, whatever,
maybe.
Whoever.
And I mean, the Queen didn't want to go that way either. That's one of the reasons Sacha Baron Cohen, who was originally cast as Freddie Mercury, was one of the reasons he was like let go, or they went their separate ways because they had creative differences. Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to go deep into what we're talking about, and the Queen was just like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to focus on the music. We want to focus on him as a performer because that's where the magic is.
Yeah, and that makes fair enough.
That's a fair argument.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
Number one at the box office, $50 million for a Queen movie. That's pretty incredible.
That's expected.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest. Mornings
at the Cabin, Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter with you on your Tuesday morning. You know what that means. It's time for Dilo or no Dilo. That's the theme music.
Oh, is that the intro?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's like the lights descending. Oh, wait, that's one. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Sound like you guys like
Who Wants to Be a Dilo?
Sound like you guys bush crashing or something.
Oh, well, that's
Dilo or no Dilo.
Yeah, I fell down the stairs. Dilo or no Dilo, this is how it works. We put up a picture of Ollie and I back when there was no snow. You have to determine if it's Dilo or no Dilo. It is that simple.
Thank you to Erasmus Apparel for sponsoring this. Today's beautiful EA accessory of choice, should you win this, is a really nice EA mug. Go check that out on the Facebook page.
Such a wonderful mug. It's so big. It fits like 2 cups of coffee.
You kind of look like you're in a vineyard.
We are in
this
vineyard.
One. Man, is
that vineyard in Dilo or not?
It's a vintage shot.
I do like this shot. I'm kind of lurking in the background.
Yeah.
It looks like an album cover.
Now I think...
It does look like an album cover.
Totally
you look like a
like
Christian 2-piece rock band. That's what you look like.
No, he's the Christian part of it. I'm the other part of it. I'm the devil lurking in the bushes.
You're the mysterious guitarist.
That's right. He writes the Christian centric lyrics, and I write the Satan centric guitar riffs. I'm the devil.
And that way we become a balanced religious proposition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Both sides of the coin, as above, so below.
Is that the name of the band?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great name.
That's a great name for the band. As above, so below.
I was going to go with Heaven and Hell, but yours isn't even taken.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
That's good. Well done.
Yeah. No, Heaven and Hell is a very famous band.
Yeah.
We could not do that.
No.
Dilo or no Dilo up on the Facebook page now. Just put Dilo or no Dilo in the comment section. Or you could write us a message too, but put it on the comment section.
Now we're going to get people who are going to write in full. Dilo or no Dilo in the comment section.
Either Dilo or write Dilo. No. Damn it. Write Dilo or write no Dilo. Don't write all of it.
Go look at the photo. If you think we're in Dilo, write the word Dilo. If you think we're not in Dilo, write the words no Dilo.
Just to be clear, the mug is not part of the picture. You don't have to guess where the mug is.
No.
But that is the prize that is up for grabs.
Season 2 of Dealo or No Dealo. Guess where these inanimate objects are?
They are inanimate. Go to the Facebook page now to enter to win. We will announce the winner tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Erasmus Apparel, as usual.
EA all day.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.